All right, guys, welcome to another series of becoming a flight attendant, and I need to put on the real. Okay, so right now we're going to talk about commuting. Commuting is for flight attendants who do not live where they're based. So depending on your airline, you are given a base either when you first apply, they're hiring for that particular base, and or you go through training and you find out in training or the end of training where you're based at. So for example, when I first got out of training, we already found out that we were based where we were based. And I was based in Oakland, California, but I lived in Florida. So I had to commute. And commute means you have to use your airline or other airlines to get to work. So that was that was for me to get to work a reserve block or a regular trip or whatever the case may be. So it's up to you to make sure that you make it to work. But your resources are the other airlines, including your airline, to get to work. Now, when it comes to commuting, there are commuter clauses, which means there are rules and regulations with all airlines that you have to make sure that you research, especially if you don't live where you're based, where you can get a clear understanding of how your commuter clause works for you. And a commuter clause is basically there are rules and regulations where you can either you have to find a couple of attempts or different airlines to get to your base, or you have to, of course, you got to communicate with crew scheduling, and you got to try to get a positive space depending on how bad they need you, or they may pull your trip, but you have to show that you tried to make it to work. But again, this is all based on your airline and what your airline consists of when it comes to the commuter clause. Now, when you get to your base, the reason why I say you need to start saving money, this is another reason why I tell you to start saving money when you start researching and thinking that you want to become a flight attendant. You may have to pay for Ubers, Lyfts, rentals, or any type of transportational needs that you may need to get back and forth to work. If you don't have any friends, family, or anybody there to help you, you're going to have to pay for that. Now, you're going to, may end up having to go back and forth to your crash pad. I'll talk about crash pads in another series, so stay tuned. But that is commuting. So again, commuting is when you're not living where you're based. Some people pack up and move. I moved to, my base because I'm single. Some people can't do that. I don't have any kids. Some people can't do that. I'm not married. So some people can do that. I can do that, but you may not. So that's why I chose to move to my base. And also when it comes to commuting, it's based on your seniority, how long you're going to be commuting, and how long you may be based there, how long your company needs you there. So that is commuting. Stay tuned.